What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about the Bengals season thus far and the guys that I think are the top 5 players from that talented roster this season. Before I get into the top 5 and who I think makes this list, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. Okay, so the roster is talented as can be. So somebody's getting left off this list because it's only top 5. So if I leave your guy off the list, don't flame me in the comments or get all mad about it. Comment why you think he deserved to be on this list and what your stance is on that. Just put that. That's all I want to see. Just give me valuable evidence because I've looked at it and it was so hard to make this list. But without all that, let's just get into it. The 5th guy on my list, DJ Reader, defensive tackle. Incredible against the run, was especially dominant against Derrick Henry in that playoff game and really shutting out that whole running attack that the Titans try and rely on. I think he's a big reason that you get a lot of those bad throws by Tannehill because the pressure is on, and so is the next guy on this list with that. But he had a Pro Football Focus rating of 80.9, which is pretty good. I'm not super big on PFF, but it is valuable evidence as it is something that proves how talented he was this year. He's a big player. He's incredible for that defense. If they don't have him, they're going to be giving up a lot more yards per carry. They're going to be giving up bigger plays. It's just kind of having him on the roster helps. And he's top 5, I think. I think he was top 5 this season on that roster, on that talented roster. 4, Trey Hendricks. He had 16 sacks. That's good enough to put you pretty much on any top 5 list for any team. 16 sacks. He had 3 forced fumbles. And my favorite stat for him is I think it was 11 or 12 straight games registering at least half a sack. That was either one away from the record or tied the record for all players ever. So he's going down in history right now as having one of the best pass rushing seasons, just being after it every single week. It wasn't like he had 5 sacks one week and then none for 2 months. And then he had 3 sacks and then none for 3 games. Like he was on the quarterback every single game, basically. So he deserves a lot of credit. I got him at 4. The next 3, you might know who 2 of them are. I'm not sure about this third one, if you're going to have him on your top 5 or not, but Joe Mixon, I think he's one of the best running backs in the entire league. And I mean, what did he have? He had 1,205 rushing yards. He averaged over 4 yards a carry, 16 total touchdowns, and had 42 catches. He's a jack of all trades running back. I personally think he deserved to be on the field more rather than guys like Samaje Perine or Chris Evans. I think he's that talented. I think he's that guy. That's my opinion on him. And, anytime you go 1,200 yards and 16 touchdowns, you got to be on the top 5. You can't be left off that list. And he just makes dudes miss. He breaks tackles. He's efficient. I think he had 2 fumbles, but 2 fumbles for the amount of carries that he had, and the offensive line is not very good. I think that's valuable. And him being able to do that takes a little bit of the pressure off of Joe Burrow, because now they can't necessarily just blitz him every single play, even though that's kind of what a lot of teams do, but they have to worry about Mixon running or worry about him in the pass game. So I think it's important what he does for this team. Without him, I don't think they're probably not a playoff team, because you need to be able to run the ball in this league. And with him, they're able to do that. So I think he deserves a lot of credit. I got Joe Mixon at 3. 16 touchdowns. Come on now. You can't not be on a top 5 without 16 touchdowns. Number 2 and number 1 were funny for me because I'm especially a huge fan of this number 2 player. Number 1 was incredible all year, but number 2, if you're guessing who it is, I got Ja'Marr Chase, not Joe Burrow. I got Ja'Marr Chase at number 2. He had 81 catches, 1,455 yards, 13 touchdowns, and he was averaging 18 yards per reception. That's basically like it's like 5 of those and you're already in the end zone. He's a beast. We saw him torch several teams this year. He annihilated the Chiefs. And in my personal opinion, I think he's top 5 at his position as a rookie. As a rookie, he's top 5 at the entire wide receiver position. I got, guys like Devonta Adams, Justin Jefferson, Cooper Kupp, Ja'Marr Chase, Tyreek Hill, and whoever else you want to throw in there. I got him at top 5. He's got to be on that top 5 list for me, especially at wide receiver. He's just electric when he gets the ball. Like, a lot of people kind of shamed the Bengals for taking him, I wasn't one of them. I did think that maybe you probably draft the O-line, but I was like, this is Jamar Chase. Like, he's probably going to be one of the best receivers in the league for a very long time when they drafted him. And he's college teammates with Burrow. Anytime you pair a college teammate with his quarterback, it usually helps out both of them because they already have that continuity down. They're already used to playing with each other. They know how each other play. And it showed because they were amazing together. They're a top probably 3 or 4 quarterback and receiving duo. I think that's my opinion. I think that's where they're at. Jamar Chase is incredible. And if they're gonna play the Chiefs in a few days, if they're gonna beat them, he's gonna have to. I don't know if he's gonna have to go for 280 and a couple touchdowns again, but he's gonna have to be big in that game. So Jamar Chase, you're number 2 on my list. You're fantastic. Before I get to the inevitable number 1 that we all probably know who it is, I wanted to give some love to some honorable mentions. I got 2 honorable mentions, them being Vonn Bell as one of them. He had 3 forced fumbles as a safety, which is really nice, 73 solo tackles, and it just seems like he makes just big plays all over the field. Him and Jessie Bates are probably one of the best safety duos in the entire league, and I thought Bates had a little bit of a down year by my standards, but Vonn Bell, ever since he came in the league as a Saint, is just a big playmaker. He's reliable. He doesn't miss games very much. He makes tackles. He just kind of does everything. He's a kind of a jack of all trades player, and you gotta love having that as a safety because you need that back there because it shores up your back end. So it allows you guys to, let guys like Trey Hendricks get 16 sacks is because people are covered. People are locked down. So Vonn Bell, I got you as one of my honorable mentions. The other one, also on the defense, Logan Wilson. I think he's in his second year, and he had a huge jump this year from his rookie season. Showed how valuable it was. I think he had 4 interceptions as a linebacker, that's tough to do. 70 solo tackles. And I think the biggest thing is like kind of what Vonn Bell did, shoring up the back end. He really shored up the linebacking core because they basically had guys at every single level of the field with having Logan Wilson being in the middle. They had guys all over the field that can make plays. And you need that, especially when you're in a division that's got to contain Lamar Jackson. You got to contain Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. You got to handle whatever the Steelers are throwing out there. They're competitive, so you have to be able to keep these guys in check. So Logan Wilson, he makes my list as an honorable mention. Those are the 2 honorable mentions I had. There's several others you can throw in there. T. Higgins is one of them. Chidobe Awuzie, I think he could have been an honorable mention. He could have even been on the list, maybe. I don't know. I left him off. But number 1, you probably know who it is. And if you don't, I don't think you watched the Bengals at all this season. And it's Joe Burrow because that guy is a maniac. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to be great for a long time. I've never said that he wouldn't be. He had 36 total touchdowns this season, 4,611 passing yards, and he plays behind probably the worst pass blocking O-line in the entire league. He took like 9 sacks against the Titans, and they won. He makes big plays. He steps up in the most crucial moments, and I love his toughness. This dude just gets killed like every single game and gets back up and throws for 302 touchdowns, and he's just amazing. He's got swagger to him. Like if you're a Bengals fan, this guy is exactly who you want leading your team because he's got that leadership that is just it seems like everybody wants to play with him. And that's awesome to have, especially because he's your quarterback. And your quarterback's tough as nails, and he's just a touchdown magnet, makes big plays. He doesn't ever really seem rattled too much. I think he's quite possibly one of the best quarterbacks in the league. I don't know where you have him ranked in terms of like top 5 or top 10 or whatnot, but he's definitely one of, if not the biggest reason they are in the playoffs. And if they're going to beat the Chiefs, he's going to have to probably throw for at least 300 and at least 3 touchdowns. They're probably going to have to do that in order to beat Patrick Mahomes and company. They beat him once, but hardest thing is you got to do it twice and you got to do it in the playoffs. So I'm really curious to see if they're able to pull this off. But Joe Burrow, that's a pretty good quarterback to have going in to try and do it. So he's number 1 on my list. Recap: DJ Reader at 5, Trey Hendricks at 4, Joe Mixon at 3, Jamar freaking Chase at 2, and Joe Burrow at 1. Let me know what you guys think of this list. If you guys disagree or agree with it, let me know in the comments. I really appreciate all of it. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoyed the video, please like it. So top 5 Bengals. I'm done here. Peace.